You should be able to click my profile to go straight to my Twitch. And I'm gonna post a announcement. Ready? That's set up. I'm because I was like waiting on the last class. I'm not as logistically set up as I would normally be right now. Just give me a sec. I've got to jump through a few hoops. Alrighty. I think we're mostly ready to go. So what we're doing this weekend, as you can see on screen, by the way, I'm just working on I'm working on a character redesign for myself that I can start using for animation. Getting some feedback um, from the other class instructors here and other people on the Discord on as I evolve and shape the character design I'm working on of myself. Basically, there's a bunch of different iterations I have of them and stuff. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to present you the assignment that we have this week, and I'm going to explain a little bit about it. When Maxi comes in here later, we'll be able to talk a little bit more about it in detail, along with some other things that's very important for newer animators. So here's, I'll link that in Twitch, and I will link that in the Discord class chat. Right here. And I am live on Twitch now. Let me actually bring up the thing that I normally bring up that gives the info on class streams, and then stream that. So the thing that we're doing is these right here. So there's an article on this test right here. What this test is it's a test it's a deceptively difficult animation test to get that anime artists were assigned to get a job at animators were assigned to get a job at Toei Animation in Japan. Um, it's a deceptively hard test, and literally it is a test you have to do in 2 hours. This is your only reference image. Starting from the test is starting from this pose, draw 5 or 6 pictures that end with him hitting the stake, and please draw the character without changing the size. That means keep the volumes of the character the same. And there's a video embedded in here. Oops, that. There's a video embedded in here from a documentary where where Yasuo talks about how deceptively hard the test is. Of course, unfortunately, there's no subtitles on this, but you can see him. You can kind of infer what he's talking about a little bit from the test, and we might talk a little bit about that on the stream when Maxi gets here later. But you can see him working out the poses and stuff, and he's doing them pretty rough and loose. But he's keeping them consistent enough that he can tie them down by the end of it for like the 5 or 6 poses that he's doing. So why this test is so hard is it is a test of um, it is a test of your ability to convey weight. It's a test of your creativity. Because there's performance in this character, like even though it's like a simple action and kind of a body mechanics exercise, there should be some sense of performance and a little bit of personality in the character. You can see like there's a shift in weight back, and then It's also a test of your ability to maintain the volumes of a character. If you notice, like he started basically with a kind of a traceback of the original pose, and that became his like reference for the rest of what he did. And he'd refer back to that to maintain the volumes. And so he made a total of 6 poses. So literally, that is the test. You have to make 5 or 6 poses, starting from like this pose, and there's your reference image. And the challenge is to do it in 2 hours, which is brutal and hilariously tough, especially for newer animators. But here's the thing. I'm not going to give you 2 hours to do this. I'm going to give you a whole freaking week to do this. Your first attempt at it. So that's going to be what the homework is. And now, if you want to get feedback on the homework, we will be giving continual feedback throughout the week in my personal Discord, which is an offsite thing now that lets me organize for like homework and stuff a lot cleaner now. And by the way, everything that I'm saying right now, presumably there might be some more people coming in a little bit late, so I'll be repeating this stuff when Maxie gets here and so on. We'll both be going over the same stuff again for latecomers. But yeah, so my personal Discord, which is now set up here, right there, Spacedad Space Club, where we are. In the future, there's certain classes that I might be streaming from here. Like Sunday, I'm going to be doing a Blender meetup in my Discord. But if you want a link to join, I'm just going to post it in the Discord chat real quick. And a couple things about I want to point 2 things out. Well, first off, there's like general animation feedback section that you can get feedback in, and there is the homework section. The section that you'll be posting assignments in for feedback and stuff is the animation homework shares. And there's also general homework chat, and there's also this homework section right here. I'm planning on using this in the future for homework meetups throughout the week. Homework meetups throughout the week where people from the community in my Discord, and also maybe from Ethan Becker's Discord, if you're trying to get work done, we meet up and we just chill out and we work on homework assignments together, either for my classes, or you can work on your personal work or NDA professional work if you're doing that. It's just like we're going to be kind of regularly meeting up to kind of morale boost people to like keep drawing and keep practicing and keep progressing and stuff. Like you can also work on homework for real life classes outside of our Discord, or classwork for other Ethan teachers or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have that going on. The other thing I wanted to mention is there's a special. So when you join my Discord, you automatically get put into the Space Cadets category. That's just like a color coded category. Everyone in orange is automatically in that when you join the Discord. There's a special super category called Super Space Cadets, which I'm planning on only occasionally pinging for like big announcements the Space Cadets, because I don't want people to mute the server, if I can help it. So I'm made a special category called Super Space Cadets, and you can go to the opt-in channel here, and you click this little nuclear symbol. You click it and click it again. You click it to join in the Super Space Cadets category, and you click it again to opt out of it. So if you want to not be spammed for a while, and then you can want to rejoin again later, you can do that. But the Super Space Cadets is like general announcements. I'll be like calling on people, stuff like, oh, we're doing a pizza party. We're doing a draw pile. We're doing a homework study session, or things like that. And as you can see on the right here, like these Super Space Cadets are color coded in green, and you also get access. When you are in the Super Space Cadet category, you get access to the Super Space Cadet chat and voice chat down there. There's a bunch of other stuff here. There's also supporters corner and stuff for my Patreon and Twitch supporters on the stream. If you are a Twitch supporter, you will show up in the sidebar here with Twitch or Patreon or whatever, or server boosts. But anyway, that's just a little quick go over my Discord. Remember to post the homework assignments that we're going to be doing this week in there. And thank you, L to the G, for the Twitch Prime sub. And thank you very much. Thanks for the words of encouragement. So let's take a look at this guy right here. I'm gonna do like a little quick draw over. I'm gonna suggest like everyone get a hold of this image and maybe just do like a quick draw over of it to kind of like start wrapping our heads around this test that we're gonna be doing. We might be doing some little experimental thumbnails and stuff a little bit later, but this will give us a starting point. Also, in addition to this, beginners, I'm going to be also assigning some beginner assignments. In addition to, like, I want beginners to try this, but this is a really tough test for beginners, especially if you're not used to like figure posing or something. But I would say that especially for beginners, I would say beginners, it would be a good idea to screenshot the poses in this video here and do drawovers of them. Try and look for line of action and notice the weight shift, like the tilt of the hips versus the tilt of the shoulder, and so on. I try to figure out where the center of gravity is because it's changing because of the weight of the mallet for that pose test. So I would say for beginners, it'd be a good idea to do that. We actually may do a live breakdown of this, but I'm gonna figure that out a little bit later. I'm waiting on Maxi, my co-stream, who is the guy who suggested this test, by the way. So this test, we are going to be doing it more than once. We are going to be doing it this week as a homework assignment. And then we are going to be doing it again next week, and we're going to be, I'm probably going to, I and Maxi are probably going to try, depending on how we feel about doing that, mind you, I and Maxi are going to be trying to do the 2-hour test live next week. He's probably going to be way better at it than me, but we're going to try to process what we learned, and the idea is that we're going to track how much we've improved, how much we improve at doing the test over time, because we're going to be doing a lot of other, because this animation class series that we're going to be doing a lot of other stuff to improve our skills at fundamentals of animation and different tricks of the trade and whatnot. So first thing on this boy, I'm just going to try to get like the big blocky bits and like the mallet that's making contact with the ground here. Make a little note about the ground plane, kind of. Make a little note about the camera here. So first off, you want to pay attention to like the line of action, like the general kind of lean of the character right here. There's that, and then there's like some secondary kind of line of action stuff that's going on here with the tilt of the hips and down to the leg. So if you attended my Friday night gesture drawing class, you may recognize this little thing I'm drawing right here. That was actually warm up for basically what we're doing right now, breaking this character down by gesture. To kind of wrap our heads around, like we're not going to go into copying the contours. We're going to kind of like pay attention to what's happening in this little pose here, because this is our very important starting point. It's important we understand what this character is doing, what we can do with it, and where it's going. So let's see here. Like a sphere for the head here. And I'm not going to overcomplicate this, but I'm going to use maybe like a little bit of that Ethan wedge that we've been practicing here. I'm going to attach the jaw in front of the face, the ear here. So part of that hair there is part of the volume of the head there. So a couple notes. Let's see here. This elbow should actually be bent. So his shoulder's relaxed. Elbow bends. Like that. There. It's kind of bending towards us. And then this arm's a little bit straighter. He's reaching out ahead of his other hand. And let's pay attention to the points of articulation also. There's knees here and here. That leg is going up back here. So we're actually seeing like the back of his hips, kind of back here. Back plane of his buttocks are back up in there. So we are seeing like the underside of his thigh and the back of his calf and the back of his foot down there. Other points of articulation, there's the ankle right there, the hip, wrists, shoulder, elbow. I guesstimate the elbow's about there-ish. The base of the neck is another point of articulation. Spine is almost kind of like one big point of articulation because it bends and stuff. I guess you could kind of think of it as like the one big bendy S-curve of the thing. But the base of the spine would be going back in there. I don't think we're going to be seeing too much of his back because I think the torso is like kind of twisted a little bit, counterposed to the back. But we see the front of his torso, but we see the buttocks. So his spine is probably doing something a little bit like that, with the shoulder kind of sticking out back there. Let's see. That's kind of like paying attention to the volumes of his legs and stuff. We're just kind of taking it slow. We're wrapping our heads around a new character model that we're going to be using for this test. This is probably not the pose that I'm going to be using as my key pose right now. I'm just trying to like wrap my head around this character and what kind of stuff I'm going to have to keep in mind when I do them. So you can kind of take it slow on this yourself. Just grab the image from Discord and from the Discord and like follow along with like a little draw over it. Like play with it yourself and stuff. Kind of wrap your head around this character. We're going to take a look at the Toei Ghibli animator and his version of his take on the test. Mind you, for like it's great to do a study like that, and I think we should all probably do that because why not study from a master animator and see what his solution for the test was. Well, we should also be trying to figure out how to design our own. Doing a study like that will help give us insight into how to design our own version of this kind of same idea and do it right. So things to keep in mind when doing this test: consistence, volume. That means keep the character, don't change the character size. Change size of character. Volumes. Sense of weight. Weight. That includes center of gravity. Gravity. Struggle. Struggling to leave. And fall and impact. The fall of the hammer. Do we have to use this exact kid, or could we do this? I would say do it with this character to start with, because you don't have to think about a character design. If you really want to do it with your own character, do it, but only do it with a character that you know is one that you can maintain consistent volumes on. Like if you're still trying to work out the specifics of a character design, kind of like I don't know, what I was doing before class, then I would probably not do it with that, because you want something that, like, oh, it's all the guesswork is taken out for you, and you have something to always refer back to. Um, but yeah, if you have a character design that you know you would be able to maintain consistent size and volume on, go for it. The things about this character, though, there's some things built into them that make them worth doing. Let me talk a little bit about that. Actually, Maxi's here, so then maybe they can talk a little bit about this too. Maxi? Like I said, they're not ready to talk just yet. But in any case, I'll talk a little bit about this. So, like, one of the things is, well, first off, like, the clothing is pretty simplified. So, clothing is simplified, but you see that it's got, like, very clear differentiation between the foot and the ankle, kind of that with the bottom of the pants. There's kind of a tracking line here with the waist, with the bottom of that sweater. This character's wearing a sweater too, so a long sleeve sweater. So that really simplifies how their anatomy works. Like if we saw their arms, we'd be doing something that's a little bit more kind of bony or realistic or whatever. If they were like in a t-shirt or whatnot. But because it's like this, like we can kind of just maintain this sort of straight against curve sort of feeling of wearing fabric. Let's see. The character's face is very simple, so that keeps things from being too complicated. And the character's also wearing a baseball cap. And the baseball cap, when the character turns their head in space, the brim of the hat. Getting the brim of the hat right is part of the challenge, and it's also part of what helps telegraph what direction the character's head is facing. The other thing to keep in mind is that these right here are ellipses. Those are ellipses right there. Those are going to turn in space as this character changes position of their body. Like those little sleeves and stuff here. Even the bottoms of the pants. So I would say you could even kind of include something like the bottoms of the shoes in there as well if you wanted. Maxi, are you there? God bless them. Hello. Anyway, so let's see here. Actually, right now, I'm going to maybe take a quick peek and see what people have been posting in the old homework section in our class, in my class section in the Ethan Discord. We'll be saying au revoir to the homework section soon, unfortunately. But I did see some interesting animation, like there's a head turn test right here Gus did, using some of the stuff we've been practicing in head drawing class. Oh, I hadn't seen this actually. That's actually pretty nice. It's a little slow, and I think there should be more up and down. But this is a pretty successful test. I get a good sense of like puppet posing here, the dimensionality. I want to know if you did a draw over a figure. I don't think you did. I think you used like principles of construction, and there's also a good sense of flexibility to it too that I really like. Here's a run test. This one needs more up and down, I would say. I want to give more in-depth critique. If you have these things right here, repost and you want feedback on them, there's an animation section in the Ethan Becker Discord you can get feedback in, and also in my Discord, there is an animation feedback section where you can repost those for feedback in the future too. Here's actually someone who already posted in my Discord that is doing a bouncing ball test. Beginners here, I would recommend doing a bouncing ball test, because that's going to help you kind of get oriented to stuff. So this one, at first glance, like it looks like it's okay. It's kind of hang timing in the air, but it feels all right to me. Trying to go for a bounce. I mean, this it feels more like a hop than a bounce. It kind of does because there's like quite a bit of hang time in the air, but I think this is an okay test for a bouncing ball. If you're trying to get like literal physical physics to reality, then yeah, you could probably make it more consistent and calculated. But like this kind of feels like an animator kind of plotting out something that feels nice, which is good. That's fine for a bouncing ball test. So I think that that one was successful. But yeah, folks, definitely if like I would suggest like even as a warm up to doing the kid mallet test if you're getting started on that, and you'd want to do a bouncing ball test kind of like this. I'll try to see if I can post some info on that later. Let's see what else other people have been doing. Zav, you actually linked me something earlier in DMs. I would be happy to show that on stream if you're comfortable with it. Somebody doing a flour sack test. I'll have more to say about flour sacks because we might be getting into those in the future. But I'd say like on this one, this is a fun attempt at doing like a running in and out of the background thing, but like there's not a good sense of volume to the flour sack. But I would say that this would be good to use as an animatic or another better pass on it, where you take each of the poses that you made here, and then you try drawing again on top of it with a better sense of like how to make how to make a volumetric flour sack. So I don't think you're in a bad spot because this feels fun. It has a fun sense of timing to it. Just the flour sack needs to be drawn more volumetric. Someone doing one of the Richard Williams walks looks pretty alright to me. Ooh, that's a very nice flour sack test by Gus. It's a little straight on, so it's a little symmetrical and stuff. I would maybe like vary it a bit, but this is a well executed test for the most part. Like it's doing a thing called twinning here, which is a kind of a no-no in animation, where like things get too symmetrical and are moving at the same rate. It's a no-no that can flatten out something, but again, that is a principle. It's not a rule. So so I would say like for this, if you want to, you could, like if you wanted to do that, like what you would do if you wanted to address that, what you would do is you would slightly vary the posture of the flour sack at the beginning, and you'd slightly like make one side a little slightly asymmetrical, like favor one side over the other, like maybe like one side reaches up faster than the other when it peaks, just slightly. And maybe like one foot touches down first before the other one. Just quick and brief. That's interesting. Playing with this one of the Yoon's Dojo stick on, basically. It's funny. Earlier stuff. There's somebody doing some flour sack exercises. Yeah, I'd say those are pretty good warm-ups. Let's see you animate with them. Oh yeah, I'd seen this one before. This one's really nice. This is a bouncing ball assignment that turned into a Sakuga study. That's really nice. I think that was part of the ultimate bouncing ball thing that I unfortunately wasn't able to keep up with. Oh, and thank you the Curadel for the 100 bits, and thank you Jay Harem King for the Twitch Prime sub. Very nice, very nice. Yeah. Be sure to join the Discord because then you'll be displayed in the sidebar here with the Patreon supporters. In the future, I'm planning on maybe doing some kind of a formal critique system where I still will randomly critique people from the Discord. I don't know the people who show up for the classes, whether or not you're a patron or you're a Twitch sub, but I will prioritize a few patrons, Twitch Prime subs, Discord boosters, or whatever, as a reward incentive for their lovely efforts in supporting the server and the classes. But I want to like I don't want to block out people that might not be able to afford to support or whatever, because you guys do help me just by showing up here. By the way, part of that is due to the advertising revenue on Twitch, but it's also like an engagement thing. Like, I mean, like more people showing up to a stream is always good. So I do want to that, and like just giving critiques to people makes me a better artist over time too. Like I get, oh, that's nice. This is some of the this is not animation stuff. This is some of like previous figure drawing classes, but there's some other animation things in here. Ball attempted doing the ball in perspective. Yeah, that's fun. Let me see if Maxie said anything in chat yet. But a little bit about Maxie. Maxie is someone who works in the Japanese animation industry. Let me see. There they are, right there. They're silent at the moment. We were going to do like a voice stream together or today to talk about the animation test stuff, but I think Maxie might not be here just yet. In any case, let's go a little bit further on the little boy with the mallet here. See, like maybe we can break down or like infer some ideas of what we're supposed to do. I'll probably take a look at the Studio Ghibli animator who we should definitely study in the course of doing this. So I'm gonna like take a little bit to maybe like kind of like draw like kind of rough volume of the head a little bit. So play with the figure. Put him next to him. So this character, when they straighten up their back, is going to be a little bit higher. When they straighten up their back and their leg, they'd probably be a little higher. Their head would probably come up to about here, I would say. There-ish, something like that. Like I could even see like straighten out this leg here, keeping this foot planted here. Straighten out the back. Trying to drag the hammer more towards themselves. Oh, hello. There you are.
Yeah, sorry. I stepped up for a bit.
That's fine. Yeah, I've warmed up the class. We're going to repeat some of the stuff that I went over too.
Yeah, no worries.
The Curadel asked me, please help me understand the best way to watch your streams. I usually listen on Discord and I watch Twitch, but there's a bit of an offset. I'm not sure he wants to do it. That's a good question. I am thinking about doing a special setup in my personal Discord in the future for some classes. Might do it here too, where there is a real-time stream. But the Curadel, you have supported me on here, so one possibility I'm thinking of is that like patrons and other supporters and stuff will have access to a real-time stream or something. Like there might be some kind of a real-time stream set up through the Discord that like that only like supporters can access automatically. That would be real-time or something. Anyway, so Maxie's here now, so we'll get talking with Maxie. Maxie, tell us a bit about yourself. Maxie? I killed him. I think they stepped out again. Okay. In any case, I'm gonna keep going with playing with this character model or something along these character model lines. Like, so this character has a sweatshirt. There's cylinders for the pants. I don't have to get, there's a detail with the legs, like the legs be like a cylinder with the point of articulation underneath. Shorts. We'll be waiting on Maxie again, but let's use this time here, everyone, to check out the article I linked and here we go. Here's the article right here. Check out the article I linked And let me see if I can bring him up. So you should be able to find the Kotaku article by a title here up in the corner. So I'll leave that on screen for people to refer to. I'll relink it in chat. Quick. There you go. Relink it in chat, folks, and you can get the image from the Discord chat. But yeah, so yeah, this infamous mallet test is deceptively hard, and like I said, we're going to be using it as a benchmark of our abilities over the coming months. We all collectively, all of us will be doing this test like once a month. This week, the homework assignment will be to wrap our heads around this test, but roughly about once a month-ish, we will be doing the 2-hour version of this test. I might reassign the weekly thing for newcomers too, but I want people to use this test as an opportunity once they like do the week-long version of it to wrap their heads around like being able to be fast. Actually, let me write down real quick what would the things that we're trying to get out of this test. Get rid of this real quick. So let's see here. So we want consistent volumes. Don't change the size of the character or limbs, for that matter. Sense of weight, center of gravity, struggling to lift and fall on impact. 3 and 4. 3, 4 is creativity. We'll get to that in a little bit. Efficiency. We want to see work towards the 2 5 6 pose version of test. Simplify and get better workflow. Okay, for creativity, you can add your spin and personality. The test. So another that does not mean like it does not mean like make something like crazy with like camera pose changes and stuff like that for this test. You can use something that's outside the scope of this test, kind of riffing on this test if you'd like. But you can probably do stuff like when they hit the hammer, when they hit the thing to the ground, you can do like a really severe cracking sort of thing or something, or like the ground bends, or the character the character like lifts off the ground, smashing the hammer down or something. You can do something crazy if you like. As long as like the sense of weight is there and the volume control is there. If it like feels good and if it meets the parameters of being consistent volumes, a good sense of weight, struggle to lift, and fall impact and center of gravity shifting center of gravity. shifting center of gravity. Efficiency, you want to like practice your ability to efficiently convey motion, efficiently complete assignments like these. So that means like not overdrawing the character. That means keeping things pretty simple and relaxed as you work out like how the thing moves. Like you can be drawing like really loose, as long as like the volumes are are consistent to the original. You could be drawing like something like what I'm doing right now, for example. Like this would be like a first pass I'd do on like a pose or something. You can see examples of that actually in the video in the article here, which we'll bring on screen. Max, are you here yet?
Yep, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, goody. All right. Well, I'm going to show this one last thing real quick. I want to show like
Yes, yes.
see like the poses you're seeing here. We should actually talk about that, Maxie, shouldn't we, as far as workflow goes? Because like the poses that are
Yeah.
being shown off here are kind of like tie downs, and the ones
Yeah.
yeah, these are, look at how crude this is. Like that's when he's just trying to work out very quickly and loosely, and rolling and flipping it to see how it feels when it moves. And if it feels good when it moves, when he's just throwing it down really quickly, then he can always like go back in and he has the confidence he needs because he knows the physics are working. You go back in and get the character model right.
I will say this is called onion skins if you work digitally.
Onion skinny.
Yeah.
And the rolling and actually specifically the rolling and flipping thing, the equivalent of doing that for digital animators is to turn off onion skinning and then like roll back and forth with the keys that go like between the different frames of animation, basically. That's the equivalent of doing rolling and flipping. And it's very important to do that constantly. You don't want to be a slave to onion skinning because that can kind of make you lose sight of the big picture of how the thing's actually moving. Anyway, yeah, Maxie, tell us about yourself and your background and stuff.
Oh, okay. For those who don't know, I work in the. Well, I used to work in the anime. Well, I still work in the anime industry. I worked as a 2D animator. My most notable credits is Black Clover on episode 126, I think, or something. Yeah, and right now I'm working on the Oda-chan show on YouTube, and working for a Western studio at the moment. Yeah, and yeah, so I have industry experience. Not that much. I'm still learning myself. You know, we're all learning still.
Yeah.
But I have some info that I could share with whatever knowledge I gain throughout the 1-2 years of being professional. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, what was that one clip that you were talking about that we might want to like do collectively during the class?
Should I go?
Yeah, I've got your socials right here, but you can link it in the Discord classroom chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah. There's the man.
Howdy.
Yeah, I've got your Twitter on my screen on my Twitch right now. That's
What? It's not dark mode. What?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Oh, there's my credits on Black Clover. All right.
I actually do use dark mode, but it's on my laptop.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. Anyways, so there should be a clip if you scroll up of a girl doing. Oh wait, are we gonna talk about that yet? Breaking down like live action and breaking down keys and stuff, or are we gonna talk about something else, another topic?
Well, let's kind of move with what we were doing. Let's talk a little bit more about the Black Clover stuff. But yeah, we're gonna get into that too.
I'm not sure what. I mean, Black Clover is just a job, right? It's just another anime job. You know, you get them all the time. When you're in the industry. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I got on Black Clover by getting contacted by production assistants on Twitter. That's why you see a lot of animators on Twitter because we mostly get our jobs through Twitter. So yeah. So then, if you want to get into animation, just start posting your stuff on Twitter, because that's where most of the animators are at. It's not just anime, Japanese animation. It's also Western animation. You see a lot
Yeah.
of animations on Twitter.
And
So
these days there's a
yeah.
lot of blur between the two, and not least of which is the Studio Yada veterans that worked on the recent Animaniacs uh, season. They worked not just on like the Western style traditional Animaniac stuff. But several people actually did both that style and the very kind of Studio Trigger influenced anime clip that was in that. So like Eastern and Western Sakuga has been fusing in the last several years really interestingly. Uh, Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being a great example, and of course like there was already a lot of cross pollination going back years with a lot of
Yes. I
people.
will say, the studio that I'm in, we're a Western studio. We're Western-based studios, but all of my coworkers and the animators in that studio
Yeah,
comes from the Japanese industry. So yeah,
yeah.
and also,
What's your studio
oh,
by the way? I've never asked.
it's a Studio Uraki. It's their studio started out doing music, like English covers of anime
Yeah.
songs, but now they're transition. Now they just picked up animation, and they just hired a bunch of Japanese animators to work on Western anime looking shows, right?
Mm.
So yeah, so Oda-chan, if you guys know what Oda-chan show is, it's a Western anime, but using the Japanese pipeline.
Yeah.
A modified version of the Japanese pipeline for easier use, since all the animators use Clip Studio Paint EX. Working on that show.
Is the Twitter for the Oda-chan show?
Oh, yeah, I guess so, but just watch out because it's not for kids.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed that. I've got it on another screen here.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. One of the things that Maxie and I were going over before this class is the importance of breaking down animation from live action footage. So we're going to be doing a draw along for that today. But first, before we do that, Maxie, do you think we want to go? I went over quite a bit of what we're looking for in this animation test here. Is there anything else you can
Yeah.
add to that, or anything you want to say about this test, the mallet
Let's
test?
see. Let me read that. Consistent volumes, sense of weight, efficiency, creativity. That's good. That's good. Consistency is no resizing the character on accident.
Yeah, don't
And
resize the character and the limbs. Watch out for limbs.
yeah, definitely.
There's gonna be foreshortening and stuff, so which can be okay, but resizing the limbs is you want to watch out for that.
Yep. And
Uh,
then sense of weight is the hammer and understanding like the strength of the kid using the hammer.
yeah,
And then
struggling to
efficiency.
lift.
Yeah, efficiency is being able to construct your lines and constructing your character properly, and as good as possible for you to be able to deliver
Yeah,
the animation properly.
yeah,
And then creativity is essentially how do you make it where this animation, when someone looks at your animation, they know it's your animation, right? Not like just anyone else's animation, but it's sometimes it goes here and there. So
yeah. I mean, I would call on people to use this also this is a body mechanics test, but there's also acting in this.
yeah,
So if you want to insert a bit of your own personality in it, I would suggest that. I would even recommend people who want to do this test. We're going to talk a little bit more about live action footage and stuff. I would recommend even acting out the scene
oh yeah,
yourself.
referencing from real life is something I always do. You know, the
Hmm.
only time I ever look at animation, like look at an anime and look at the animation stuff, I only do that so I can understand their frame timing and simplicity in the character design and
Yeah,
character and how they simplify a intricate character into something easier for them to animate, right? So that's what I look for. I don't look for like
yeah,
uh
because there's a trillion different show styles, and also like those characters
yeah,
are those characters are really ridiculous. Like you're not going to be when you're working out the motion of something, you're not going to be able to draw that much detail.
Yes, definitely.
You'll see like in rough animation, they'll look really crude. They'll look like stick sometimes like stick figures and stuff.
Damn, Space Dad, you're like sketching like super fast. That
Yeah.
looks really good.
Yeah, actually, the method that I'm using right now is a continuous line method that I kind of picked up on from Junji Ito talking about. This is a good way for roughing out stuff and also for like neophyte artists to kind
Wow.
of like he suggests like artists that are starting out should be when they're sketching they should be doing a lot of like continuous line exercises where they it's not you're not drawing two-dimensionally, you're drawing three-dimensionally, but you're using kind of like the fact that you're not lifting the pencil off the page to kind of sculpt as if you're sculpting a piece of clay on the page a little bit.
Wow. I just use stick
Feeling out.
figures.
Yeah, what's that?
I just use stick figures.
Yeah. No, there's that too. I use those too, like little guy like here, for example. There's a billion different ways. Like you've seen Tuniko's Pantoja's video, right? On different
Oh
kinds of
yeah,
stick
yeah,
figures.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a really handy.
yeah, yeah.
Toniko is one of our buddies from the Ethan Discord. He's got his own Discord that he's starting up
Oh, nice.
here. But I'll bring that on screen right here. This might help. This will probably help people on the test as well. Let's see, Toniko. Let's go to his channel real quick. So we'll do a plug for him. But here's Toniko Pantoja's YouTube channel. He also sells some Gumroad animation for beginner stuff that I strongly recommend picking up. But let's see here. It's got a lot of good videos. This one's a good one. How to improve your solid drawing skills. That one's a good one to check out. But the ones that I'm going to point people's attention towards is approaching full figure animation and finding your shorthand style, and basic human anatomy and invention for animation, and drawing figures fast with technique for animation. Those ones you particularly want to pay good attention to. They will give you kind of a heading to work with on like a test like this, and just how you approach animation in general. The thing is, you want to have faith that like if you can get a good feeling in the attitude and the weight of a pose and stuff like in like kind of a stickman form and stuff, you want to have faith that you're going to be able to. You want to have faith in your abilities to take that crude stick figure that kind of has the physics and the acting and the weight and the motion worked out in it, and then start using your understanding of construction and so on, and in order to like do tie down drawings, get the anatomy in there, get like the character design volumes in there and stuff. You want to have faith in your ability to do that. Well, you do want to practice solid drawing, so you know where this stuff is going. You don't want to overdraw things early on. I would say this even applies to doing illustrations and stuff too. Like when you're working out a pose for an illustration, like you want to have faith that your crude sketches that have good feeling to them are going to look really fucking awesome when you convert them into like tie downs and then cleaned up line art and stuff, or cleaned up paintings or whatever that you're going to be doing with it. But yeah. Anyway, Maxie, you have anything to add?
Yeah. So I guess when you're looking at like character sheets, really like you guys watch Ethan Becker's videos, just making sure you
Yeah.
can mimic the character sheet,
Yes.
and yeah, and then once you are a good enough artist to be able to mimic any art style, because legitimately that's what you do as an animator, right? You work on many
Mhm.
projects and you work on many art styles. Being able to copy and mimic an art style, and then understanding how to draw the character and understanding when to simplify
Mhm.
certain parts of those characters when they're in motion. So yeah, yeah, same thing. Just repeating the same thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
One thing I will note about that is like the way that this guy drew it. Like he initially did like a kind of a trace back for the original figure, but this figure still looks like kind of very Studio Ghibli-ish looking character
Yeah.
in how he interpreted it. He did kind of a draw over, but he did his own interpretive draw over of it, and it looks more kind of like a Studio Ghibli character. So he created his own model that he'll be using consistently through the test. So it is okay to like slightly deviate from the initial reference pose as long as it's like still pretty loose and like it doesn't have to look pitch perfect anime and stuff. If you have a more kind of Western look to your character drawing, that's okay. What we were looking for is the motion and the weight and the consistency of volumes. The fact is, if you pull that off, a cleanup artist, if you pull that off and it's in the ballpark, a cleanup artist can come back in and like bring it more into model with the style of the ship, as long as like it's mostly like in the ballpark.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's like not in a ballpark. So in
Yeah,
the anime industry, they would like heavily correct your
yeah.
cuts.
We're
But
gonna
then
be
that's yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be pretty forgiving about this, though, as far as that goes.
Yeah,
Like,
no
as
worries.
long as it feels good for this, it'll be good. Because you're not getting hired at Toei here, so we're not going to be super strict. We want people to develop
Yeah,
a.
definitely.
We want people to not. Maybe don't get too caught up in trying to be perfect to the character model or try to mimic perfect anime style. Like, you want the guts of what's good animation. That's the important thing, and of course to
Yeah.
maintain volumes in what you commit to.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Alrighty. That note, what's that live action stuff? Oh, we should probably talk about live action breakdown stuff because we're going to be doing some of that in a little bit. Um, we're going to be
Wait, what?
you were talking about we were going to be doing breakdowns of live action. We break down live action
Oh,
in
we're doing that today?
keyframes. Yeah, if you want to.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, what would you like to do for the rest of the stream?
I mean, let's see. We could go and I mean, I guess we can go to that Twitter post that I have
Yes.
where I broke down the keyframes for a character
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
made it into my own
This
animation.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely wanted to do that because I want to give people an auxiliary thing to do throughout the week that will help improve their observation skills.
Yeah,
Analyzing live action is something that's good. It's an essential tool for everyone
yeah.
here, myself included. So,
Should I go ahead and
yeah, link it in chat. I don't think I see it in the post that you made.
oh no,
So
should I stream should I stream myself
yeah, if you
on
can.
Discord and then you can restream it onto your Twitch?
Uh, but yeah, you didn't post it on. It's not on your Twitter. I don't see it
Oh,
here.
so no, it's on my Twitter.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, did you?
It's the one where it's it's below my character sheet of my OC. Should be like a few scrolls down, a few posts down.
Reference from Peach. Oh no, I get what you meant.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, this
Yep, there
thing.
it is.
These guys. Yeah,
So yeah,
I've actually got to
so
follow these
then
guys. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'll link this in
yeah,
chat. Yeah, we'll be grabbing
yeah,
footage from them to break down.
yeah. That's the Twitter account of like a stunt girl, and you know, I follow a bunch of stunt people because you know being able to actually analyze their stuff is really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Goody. Yeah, yeah. There's another one that I follow that I think you might have seen some of my retweets where sometimes they'll do like effects animation stuff on top of the live action
Yeah.
fight scenes that they choreograph. Like those guys, there's already
Yeah.
been
Oh,
a lot of anime artists that have done stuff based.
yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, I mean, like this has
Oh,
all the
I'll go.
storyboarding worked out for you right here. If you want to do an action scene with perspective runs and stuff, this is really good.
Yeah,
I
no,
retweet that. That's really nice.
yeah. It's so good to
It's
see like the camera work
yeah,
and so it's really cool. I love it. I love stunt people.
yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely share more of these with me. I want to get like a library of these generous stunt people showing off their skills.
Yeah.
So which one did you want to do?
Oh shoot, let me see. Damn. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me
Yeah,
a
yeah,
second.
that's fine. Take your time. Yes, yes. For the latecomers here,
Oh, here it is.
just so you know, if you want to participate in the homework section of this class, let me make sure. Oh, Zob is in text chat. I asked them earlier if they wanted me to show the animation that they've been working on screen on stream. See if they posted. I'm gonna see if they're okay with that. Are they in here right now? They're not in here right now. Well, I'll ask them next time they're here so I can give them live feedback. But they DM'd me something that looked really cool. Anyway, so um, yeah, so I'll link in the Twitch chat. This is a link to the Discord where this is a link to my personal Discord where the homework will be where you'll be hosting the homework. We can also post general animation feedback here. But if you want feedback on the homework throughout the week or on this test and other things that we're doing here, I would say even the live action stuff. That we're going to probably assign some live action stuff this week too as an optional homework thing. You can post those in the animation homework shares section for feedback. And I will also I'll be continually giving bits of feedback throughout the weekend here, and also next week we will use this channel primarily to review homework through. So let's see here, get back to this and that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. When you got the clip you want, post it in the Ethan Becker classroom chat for us, Maxi. Really nice. Yeah, that's cool. This is a good idea. This is an illustrative of a really good idea right here. You can take someone's you can either make your own or you can take someone's existing character design and then do like this kind of uh rough loose animation based on the character design. Again, like this is what they're doing right here. What I'm talking
Yeah.
about, like where you are not a slave to the graphic design of the character. You have like you keep the volumes the same and you use your knowledge of how figures work and stuff to do it. And
Yeah.
this is and so like because like what you're seeing here with how the fabric is and stuff, like fabric is going to change all the time. So keep it simple
Oh,
when animating it, and like if you keep it simple and the
I
overall
love.
motion works, then the tie downs and cleanups can kind of work that out later.
I yeah. I'm really fascinated with the motion blurs and easy in that animation. It's
Yeah,
really well done.
that's a really nice piece too, and I like how there's like
Yeah.
little adjustments to parts of the body and stuff. Some of it feels kind of like they lassoed things to adjust it, but it's well executed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, lasso tool is actually really helpful in animation,
Yeah,
especially if you know how to use it right and make it where it doesn't look like
yeah.
it's
If you use it right, it's great. But there's it's a lot of times it can get very flashy looking if it's used as a crutch.
yeah.
Really good shit. Yeah, they are storyboards. Critical Role on Titmouse, previously on Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, Critical Role is getting that animated adaptation of Titmouse, which is really cool. Um, let's see here. Yeah, Zov's back here now, but Zov is deafened. Zov, can I show your bit of animation on Steam screen? Oh, here. Yeah, Maxi, you linked the video that we wanted to use, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll grab that. People who are one step ahead of me, you can grab this yourself with like a tweet downloader, but I'm going to do that off screen here, and I'll upload that to chat. But Zov, if you're comfortable with me showing you that thing you DM'd me, just want to double extra confirm that you're cool with me showing your work on screen. Yeah, listen on Twitch. I just to confirm, are you okay with me showing that thing you DM'd me on stream? Alrighty, here we go. So this is what they DM'd me earlier. This is another iteration of a kind of an animatic that they're working on.
That's a good animatic.
Yeah, it is. Uh, I gave them some feedback on like tightening up the timing and looking at like existing anime stuff that like has really good sense of impact and timing too. Because like the earlier version of this didn't have like as much. This feels like much more plausible as an animatic. Right? There's still more
Yeah,
stuff where it could be tightened up and clarified, but it's in a very good working state, I would say, for an animatic.
yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
Who did this?
Absolve.
Saw.
So somebody
Let
who
me see
had
your
somebody who I've been doing some of the we kind of have like we put the we suspended work on the game dev project that we've been working on because we kind of bit off more than we could chew at the time being for that. So, but Zav is still kind of bantering with me about learning stuff. The people that were in the game dev project I was on, like the artists and stuff mainly, were kind of going to be continuing to. We originally kind of wanted to use that game dev project basically as a study group, so we're going to be continuing that, and part of that's going to be through here too. Yeah, it's really nice. Zav is a has a pretty darn good sense of figure construction. So it's their big issue that they struggle with. They hadn't done really any animation before until the last couple of months, so they're kind of struggling. The thing I see them
Yeah.
struggling the most with is like
Wait,
is timing.
wait.
Um,
Does Zop have
a Twitter.
what is it? Yeah, Twitter or social media.
I don't know actually. They should be posting stuff. Even rough stuff like this would be good to post. So honestly, you can post this as it is right now, and then you can post a later one
Yeah,
when you tighten it up. This is good.
yeah.
This is
Zop,
honestly good enough
send
to
me your
post.
DM me your stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, DM me your stuff, Zop.
yeah. Anyway, so let's take a look at that live action thing. I'm gonna upload it actually here. I will upload it to. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make breaking down. We're gonna do this live, but I'm gonna make maybe this the secondary homework assignment. I think. So I'll upload the materials for that. Let's maybe here. I'm gonna make a new. Let's see here. Whoops. So I'm gonna try to do an honor system thing on this homework assignments class chat. Try not to like shit up the room basically, but like this is where me and other people are gonna be posting the homework assignments that are ongoing for certain things. So this one right here, um, break this down into key frames and boxes. And the other homework is due next Saturday. And then the other one is the animation test we've been doing. The becoming the Japanese animator is hard. Test due next Saturday. Mistake as instructed. Keep character size. See my stream recording from today for notes about how to approach this. All right. Oh, the other thing is, like I said, one of the things I struggle with is getting the motivation to do the homework. So that's what we have this for. We're going to be doing homework meetups throughout this next week where we will be working on stuff like this. we'll all be able to hang out together and work on homework stuff on my Discord. Alrighty, so getting on to I'm gonna have to bring up some animation software so I can let's take a quick potty water / snack break real fast, and then we'll get started on that live action stuff. Maxie, is there anything you want to talk about a little bit?
Not sure. I mean, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just the live action parts is
Yeah.
just not keyframes essentially.
I can get you set up right now if you want to start streaming. If you want to start streaming and puttering around a bit while I get like if you want to start streaming, I can restream you through Discord or whatever on screen.
Yeah, all I can, I guess what I can do right now is just talk about how I broke down the video that broke down the video by PJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, I'll start streaming now.
Yeah. I need to hit the restroom. I'll be right back. But yeah, like you feel free to talk about stuff while I'm
Yeah. All right. Give me a second. Let me put myself to voice activity. All right, guys. So, any of you guys are watching on Twitch or watching on Discord, wouldn't matter. So I'll go ahead and break down this animation, like this video. So this one, so when PJ posted this video, I was like, "Oh, this looks cool. I need something to motivate myself to animate. So to do a personal animation. So I just use her motion of doing. I think it's a butterfly twist. I think what she does is a butterfly twist. She does a dip, she jumps into the butterfly. So this is the butterfly pose, but then she twists into she twists, right? So that's why it's called a butterfly twist. A butterfly would just be if she jumps and then lands without twisting, but she does a butterfly twist, and she does it with the katana or a sword, or whatever it is. So then butterfly twist, then slash. So then, how did I break this down into making an animation? Which is this thing here, where I actually took her and then made like something fun with it, right? And I used it as reference, So then I didn't trace, obviously. So because yeah, so I just got the pose and let's see. And so then she starts off like doing standing here, right? Like in a cool pose, right? Then she dips down a bit and then hops with her arms raised so she can get the momentum to dip herself as low as she can and then push up with her legs and flails her arms back so she can, but she flails her arms back, but then she uses her leading arm to pull to rotate backwards and then tucks her knees. So you see she tucks her knees so she can do that twist, and then now she's able to land. She lands on her hand and her feet to do the attack. And then she does another attack at the end. And then for what I did is that I got the base poses, right. So the base poses is here to up here, and then to down here very low, and to up here, and then I want to capture the rotation, right? So the tucking. So this is part one tuck. There's two tucks, and then this is untucking, which is so lift off is a frame, is a keyframe. The initial tuck is the next keyframe. The second tuck with the legs is the next keyframe. The release is the next keyframe, and then then the anticipation keyframe, and then the initial slash, the first slash as a keyframe, and then you have a recovery frame for the slash, and then you have the final final slash, and then a final slash as the next keyframe, and then the last keyframe would be like an easing keyframe for the final pose, right? So then for my animation, so so the way I did her zooming in, I just grabbed I copy and paste her first pose. So I grabbed this pose, and I copy and paste it into smaller. I made it and just made it smaller, but then I drew over it so it wouldn't repeat. It wouldn't so the line work won't resize. Um, then so then here's the pose where she dips down a bit, right? But then I didn't really want to do the little hop because I was being lazy. So she dips down a bit, and then she throws her hands up. Her left leg moves back. She dips down as fast as far as she can. So that's a keyframe. She she hops the initial hop, right? The initial hop, and then the tuck, right? But I changed the tuck to like a slash, so that would be cooler, right? So then the initial tuck, then the next tuck, the then the then opening, right? Then the releasing from the tuck, and then think yeah, I didn't do an anticipation frame because since these are just like full limited animation, right? Um, and then so then anticipation frame plus opening, right? And then I skipped the actual keyframes of motioning her falling, since she's gonna be doing this really quick, right? Like she's she goes up in the air and then goes down like super super fast, right? And then I use what is it the method, oh, I forgot what the animator, uh uh I'm a bad animator. I don't remember the names. Uh, but the triangle swords, for speed lines, So I kind of did a mix of it. Every time I do impacts, I like to use blurs, like speed lines for impacts. But for like non-impact speed, I would like to use um uh, triangles and stuff. And so then she just then I skipped a lot of frames. She's immediately on the floor, but then um, and then and then an easing frame, for like a recovery frame. So attack, recovery frame, and then anticipation frame, and then the next slash, and then easing frames. And then like multiple easing frames to kind of end the animation, right? Then look at the screen and stuff. Yeah. So then, yeah, all the characters in the background, the pink dudes, they're like whatever, but we're just focusing on the main character at this point. Yeah. So then, dip, yeah, two, like literally this is just 3 frames, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 for her about to dip, right? Then an extreme pose dipping down, and another extreme pose like rising right back up, slashing, pose, 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 pose. And these are like, how many frames is this? This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 frames. This whole thing is just 15 frames, and it shows like really cool dynamic movement, right? So I just play this over again. Yeah, just 15 frames, and yeah. So then, you know, uh, this is what you would consider full limited animation, where like characters are like where you really space out these frames. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think you have to wait. Are there previous lessons where you need to do for homework? Like you need to catch up first. I don't know. This is more like a advanced, like an advanced like class, but I don't know. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by set up their scenes? Oh, wait. Sorry. Wait, file setup for animation or wait, wait. So repeat that again. Sorry. Oh, okay. Oh, live action study. Uh, let's see. Oh, so let's look at PGA stuff. Uh, ooh, this is a good sidekick. Let me turn off the audio. So let's see. So she initially goes. This is real low quality. She's already in motion already, but essentially this would be a first frame. So it's a whole kick. Um a lot of actions is a lot of like a lot of kicks is a lot of chambering, release and then chambering again and then resting, right? So this is anticipation, this is chambering, this is release, this is chambering again, and then this is resting, right at the very end. Yeah. So then yeah. So it's all like uh, it's all a bit technical, especially if you know what how fighting works and whatever. So resting, anticipation, chambering, release, chambering, and then rest, then easing out into a resting position. Um, and they're saying those are your keyframes, right? Your keyframes is the resting, the resting into the anticipation, into like an anticipation frame, and then into a chambering frame, and then releasing, and then maybe you add like some easing into the release, and then that release goes back to a chamber, and you might have some easing in the chambering, then the easing into a resting position, So those are your pretty much your keyframes. I guess for me, I guess I'll do this when I have time, and I'll show it tomorrow. But I would have at least, let's see, one frame. Yeah, one frame. Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna try to see how many frames. I'm gonna assume, and I'm gonna try to give an estimate of how many frames this will take. So, one frame for resting, one frame for like anticipation, and then one frame for chambering. Then maybe another frame for easing into the chamber, right? Maybe, I don't know. Let's see, one, two, three, four, and then 5, 6, 7. Maybe this would probably be a good 8 frames. This is probably a good 8 frames. If you could do all this in 8 frames, minus the guy, right? The guy is probably a still. The guy the object she's kicking could be a still. Or you just have her do it like without anybody there, right? But for the guy, it'd be like 1 frame, or 2 frames if you want to do that line wiggle thingy, where if you have a still, then you kind of wiggle the lines a bit. You redraw the same character, but it kind of moves the line a bit, so it's like they're moving and not just a still. Yeah. But in my case, I'll just make it into a still. So the guy holding the bag would be a still until here, where this will be his keyframe, right? This will be his second frame, and then that this will be this foot transition here, where you see that foot transition, that will be the third frame, right? So then one frame, 2 frames, the first frame, second frame, third frame, then fourth frame, fifth frame, and then sixth frame into like so he'll probably be around 6 to 7 frames for the reaction, and hers will be up to 8 to 9, 10 frames maybe, depending on how much you want to ease it, or yeah. But essentially, yeah. So yeah, that's how I would break this down, and it's only 1 second too. It's only 1 second, so it should be easy enough. And let's see. Let's see. That's cool. Boom, boom. Let's see. This is like they don't even hit each other, but it's fun. So let's see. Oh, that's cool. This gets into choreography, but it's different. But yeah, I hope you guys got what I was talking about. But yeah, so you don't have to follow my frame count. That's my estimate of how much I would do. 8 frames for the girl, and then 7 frames maybe for the guy. If you can make it lower, then that's easier work on you. Especially if you're trying to, especially within time, right? Like oh, we have to do this. Like your studio tells you like we need this turned in tomorrow, and you're like, okay, I don't want to draw like 20 frames for this cool animation. I'm just gonna split it down, cut it down to the bare minimum, so I can post it up and then get it turned in, right? And then we have the in-betweeners fix the rest. You have in-between like guides, right? But I guess I'm not gonna talk about in-between guides right now. So but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of strategy to kind of like feeling out what the keys are, and
Yeah.
we've done some of the people who've attended some of the other previous like months ago animation study classes that we've done got a taste of some of that too, like where like you kind of have to design what your keys are, and like you have to make editing decisions about what to emphasize, what to exaggerate, what to leave out from what's in the live action, because real life doesn't have keyframes. Real life doesn't have breakdowns. Real life is way more complicated than that. Keyframes and breakdowns are just like tools to create the illusion of motion, like make stuff read as motion to us. And so you want to look for, you want to like develop a sense of like what to look for, like what's like the strongest point of a pose and so on. Actually, I will say that the real life does have keyframes, but where it does have keyframes is when actors that do hyper exaggerated poses take on and push poses on purpose. And I will also say that certain types of natural phenomena and certain actions of animals in nature are very key posy, I would say. The peak of like the certain poses that animals take, like I don't know, like I'm thinking of like an Arctic fox jumping into the snow. The peak of the peak of their jump, and even how they end up with their head in the snow, for example, would be good examples of keyframes occurring in nature, basically. But yeah, I mean, like keyframes and breakdowns are just tools to kind of break down the complexities of the real world into things that create an illusion of motion for
Huh.
animation.
Let's see. Can I talk about this video? I would like to
Sure.
break it down a bit.
Yeah.
This is gonna get into choreography because I love choreography. I love like creating fight scenes. But then, this is so cool. It's so simple. It's such a simple fight, but it's really cool.
Totally fine
She
to get
goes,
into choreography. Choreography is something we should definitely be covering more in detail in the future, for sure.
yeah, definitely. So we're looking at all we're doing is paying attention to this girl, right? So right now, don't pay attention to this guy, just the girl, right? She's basically essentially the main character. So she goes in and does a kick, right? So essentially her actions is kick, 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 and then what's this is called what is it called? Uh, damn, it's not a scoop. Wait, is it a scoop? Oh no, it's not a scoop. I forgot what it's called. Damn. Anyways, so she does like a a side cartwheel. Oh no, oh no, this is a reverse cartwheel. There you go. It's a reverse cartwheel.
Hmm.
Because you can do a cartwheel. It's a one-handed cartwheel. But essentially, she uses her opposite hand to do the cartwheel. It's actually pretty cool to do. Um, um, and then from the cartwheel, she does what is it called? I forgot what this is called. Yeah, but then she does that and pops up and does a kick, right? So essentially, her moves is kick, kick, boom, and four moves. This is just four attacks that she does, right? So first attack, second attack, third attack, and then fourth attack,
Hmm.
right? So four attacks. But if you actually like look into like the choreography of how her character acting is, right? To do this kick, she flails her arms, right? So you see like she flails her arms. So he's like, okay, so hands are moving too fast, but then she's hiding the fact that she's switching stances so she can go for that kick, right? But then look, he's the guy on the right is a good fighter, so he can see that was a distraction for the kick. So he switches his stance so he can block properly. Um, so yeah, ignore the guy. She flails her hands to kind of like go into the kick, and then the kick fails. So then she goes. So then she's like anticipating the punch, right? Because the guy's having like an anticipation frame for the punch. So then she really sees that, then ducks under it, and then counters with or then punishes, right? Because he whiffs, right? He whiffs and she punishes. If you guys know, so countering versus punishing. What is countering versus punishing? A counter is this is a punish. He already extended his hand to the amount of when he will hit his opponent, right? But he misses. So then she punishes him by hitting him with a strike, right? So her second hit is works, right? But guess and
Nice.
then she realizes that she has the advantage, right? So she tries to go for for like a fun attack, right? But obviously this is just like they're just training in choreography, so they're not actually gonna be that close, Um, um, I don't know why the guy goes for a low, but I guess it's it's just for cool aesthetics. So she goes for this fancy kick, but why does she go for this fancy kick, right? So she does this fancy kick because she hits him and he's staggering, right? So then he staggers and she thinks she has the advantage, but he recovers quicker than she can release that next fancy kick, right? So then but then he whiffs also, right? Because he tries to low crush her by low crushing her by sweeping low, right? But then she misses her kick. Um, and he misses his. But then he goes in, and guess what? This is now considered a counter hit. This kick here is a punish. This last one here is a counter hit because she hits him before he can hit her. You know, so he goes in, and before his hand can even hit her, she hits him, and then boom, that's counter hit. Then he gets knocked down, right? Um, Imagine a real fight. If you're about to punch somebody, you think your punch is gonna hit, but then you get hit first. That's like, oh my god, I just got countered. But when you throw your hit, but you miss, and you're like, oh, I did not hit the person, but then you see the fist coming at you, and you get hit by that, right? That's punish, because you're trying to recover, but you couldn't recover fast enough, and you get hit, right? So it's really cool. It's really interesting seeing this, even this small little fight and all these details in it, right? So with a lot of hand movements, kick, kick didn't land, duck, punish the punch, does fancy kick but didn't but miss, and then counter hits because she has plus she has advantage because she recovered faster than he can try to throw the attack. So then so it's really interesting. It's really interesting. But for animation wise, how many frames would this be, right? So then I would have like probably 2-3 frames to do like this hand motion, right? You know, maybe like one, 2. Wait. So first frame is resting. Second frame, third frame, uh, fourth frame, fifth frame. Oh no. If it's a block, I would do 2 frames. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21, right? So up to 20, 21 frames of animation to of keyframe animation to make this work. That's how much that's how much I anticipate, right? But yeah, essentially, yeah. So it's cool. It was just fascinating. I was just looking over this. I thought it was gonna be too complicated, but it's actually a lot more simple. The guy is gonna be like one. So the guy's keyframes will be 1, 2. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 8, 9, 10. Wait, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, essentially the same amount of frames, right? But you space it out so you make the characters interact. Their hits actually, their frames link up, or during the actual impacts. But yeah, so that's interesting. So yeah, so 20 to 25 frames is actually a really good amount for this animation. Yeah. So yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, sorry, Spacedad, but yeah, I was just fascinated by this. All right. What's your input, Spacedad?
My input is very good, and I'm been vibing and watching and listening.
Yeah.
I've been doing, and I've got some ideas for what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I would say that like the stuff that's like profile view, where you're not as concerned with like work perspective, might be better for people to start with. Like that one shot that you had of the jumping into camera, that would be fantastic to do after people kind of wrap their heads around perspective a little bit more, and also
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
warmed up some of the like the profile attack one. That one, that flip that you have right there, the flip and the jump kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is fan fucking tastic for like a one to start with.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
would
this is
say.
a great one. Oh, how many frames is this? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mhm.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17
This,
frames.
yeah,
Would be
this is
pretty
good. I mean, you just broke it down kind of
Yeah.
basically. Like, I think that
Yeah.
anyone watching the stream later could literally just use what you did to
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
recording the stream later, could use that as like a cheat sheet for breaking down
Yeah.
finding the keyframes.
Yeah, you can even go lower. I think you can go lower. If you can space it
Yeah.
out even
Oh,
lower,
I
it
think
can
so.
go
I
you can
think
go
you're,
you can
yeah.
go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and like up to just 12, right? 12, and you can do 12, 13, right? Instead of like 20, which is yeah. So it
That's
was like
okay. So
yeah,
yeah, that one is the one I want to do for sure.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
To
this is like
start with for me because I need to get warmed up to doing this as well.
yeah,
But yeah, like right now I'm kind of like messing with some character design ideas for Astropug versus the Art Lazies. So the Art Lazies are like kind of these mutated monsters that are basically like art procrastination monsters. They can be any shape or form. And I might use them. I'm thinking about the idea like I want to maybe do some stuff where I use either Spacedad or Astropug for doing certain animation tests,
mm,
and I can modify their designs or create new characters as I need into the stable of characters. But I like the idea of those would be the main things that I use for doing these animation tests, like the art lazies as like stand-ins for villains or certain things that I need, and they can take on any shape or creature form I like. Because they're kind of amorphous, like the Heartless from Kingdom Hearts or something.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of good live action footage that you're showing off on screen right now.
yeah. So this guy, so this channel's called they have a YouTube channel called Martial Club. They make their fight videos or their short films are really cringy, but they're really good at what they do. so uh, this guy, the one who does the kick here, his name is Andy Lee. He's my favorite tricker. If you guys don't know what tricking is basically like Taekwondo kicks that they do like super flashy and stuff. Um, and what he did is like he did a I think it's a 180 hook kick, which is really good. Oh, I can't reverse the video. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. Uh, that's a 720. Yeah. So, but I like to break down his videos a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So out of all the people who does like cool fighting moves, this guy's like my favorite out of all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely link those two. And okay,
Yeah.
link those in the homework section. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then I think we have like a reference. We have we have an art reference I think we should make an animation reference section. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah.
In my personal Discord. Let's see here. Where should I put it? Might be on reference hunters. Animation reference hunter. Animation. There we go. There. It's like reference hunters is here and stuff. I think there already is a little bit of animation people have posted in here, I think. But like for like yeah, there somebody already posted some animation stuff in it, that's cool. And animation reference stuff yesterday. That Rogue Comic did. And but now we got an animation reference hunters come. Let's differentiate these. Art reference hunters. Art reference hunters and animation reference hunters. Now we got two channels for these. Goody goody.
Oh, I've seen this fire thing. That's cool.
And
Yeah.
somebody post. There's some people who've been posting some questions in Twitch chat. Let me take a look at that real quick. What are your thoughts on pose to pose and straight ahead? And when do you use either?
Post straight ahead.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I like pose to pose a bit more, but with a bit of easy. For straight ahead, I'm not a big fan of straight ahead. Straight ahead is like good for like when you want to make something feel like really natural
Yeah.
and like depending on how you want to execute your storytelling of your scene, right?
Yeah.
It really depends. For me, I like pose to pose because I like to be very controlling on these poses, right? Because especially for fighting, it's
Like
very pose, right?
really hit your accents, basically.
Yeah. But if you're doing like fire effects, right, you want to do like you want to just animate frame by frame, by like by following through the and feeling where these things goes, right? You can't really, it's kind of hard to keyframe fire,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, but you can, it is possible,
yeah.
but
The general consensus on those seems to be like it depends on the temperament of the animator. Some people are much better at. It depends on the temperament of the animator and the effect that you're trying to go for. That using one or the other or both together, which actually happens quite a lot. Um, well, it depends on like what kind of effect you're trying to achieve or what you're trying to do. Like, I'm not sure, but remember that one famous Naruto fight scene with like the really. I think that a good portion of that was straight ahead. It looks like it was. Richard Williams liked using straight ahead an awful lot for a lot of things. Um, yeah, like I mean, like the straight ahead versus pose to pose. It's always like a judgment call. It's a judgment and design call. It's a temperament of the animator call. It's a style of the production call. It always depends, and over time you'll probably discover that you might have a temperament for favoring one or the other for your particular approaches for animation. But most animators use a mix of both. Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. There's a fight that I thought was pretty cool that I guess I could break down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Orochimaru and oh, uh, I'll look that up here first. Log was it? Yeah, here it is. Orochimaru versus Log. I really like this animation. 720. I really like this animation. I think the animator was Cheng Shi Huang. We worked on this. Either that or it might have been uh, David. I don't know, but I think it's Cheng Shi. So then, yeah, it's really cool. It's very like limited too. It's like limited frame, full limited animation, right? You see, like they tell there's keyframe. There's like was it um uh easing, right? There's a lot of like in betweens and easing in some parts, but in general, this is really well done. Like I love the flips and stuff, right? Even though it's very little, it's still really cool. And it is essentially done. This is all I want to see. Everything else is just stuff. So in this animation, let's go ahead and just play back it to very slow. Uh, so then he goes and he's like, they're doing this cool like standoff thingy, pulling out the sword, and look at the speed lines that the uses, right? So then pulling it out. So there's a lot of easing into pulling it out, and then boom, they just like whip it out, right? So then uh let me go even slower. So from here it goes like one thirds, and then just, or not even one third. It goes like like 1/5 pulling the sword, the sheath off, and then it just like whips it out, and then kind of cuts out a lot of those like those animation parts, right? And there's 3 frames, like 3 frames to 4 frames of that sheath falling down, right? You know, then you have this cool transition of him like whipping the sword, like uh into, yeah. So it's a mix of triangles triangles and speed lines, and during compositing during the compositing team blurs it too, which is pretty cool, to kind of emphasize more motion, right? Um, then very good clean frames, right? It's not like, yeah, oh, this is such a cool part too. Really good clean keyframes, right? To really emphasize motion, right? you know and then you see that small movements, those are like very spaced out. It's not even smooth, right? It's just like frame to frame, just moving into there. And then oh, this is so good. They essentially just grab the same frame and then just distort it, and then oops, sorry, and um, then boom, it just disappears and then reappears, and then going back and forth, right? It's just going back and forth, but then it just zooms in and then turns the character into like a pile of mush, going towards whatever, right? So you see Orochimaru's doing some anticipation frames, right? Then he does his where like you see this weird motion here. That's like that little weird color distortion. That's like his after was it his after image thing, right? Yeah. Uh, well, I think I might look at it wrong, but yeah. So then he goes quick, and then that's so cool. He disappears, and then it reappears another more of those lines, which is interesting, you know. And then they're going, they're and they clash. They go from like smudges into one frame, right? You know, so this is one frame, and then the frame before this is just a bunch of mushes. But then most of the animation here is just effects, right? Effect animation, but with a still frame and just shaking the camera to make it where it's clashing a lot, right? And maybe they have see how they're moving like very slightly, right? You just essentially what they do is that they just draw the character and then draw over it to make those small little movements, and they just loop it over and over again to make it look like they're like struggling, right? Which is yeah, which is a good technique, you know. And yeah, oh, they're fast. And then it's at these cool frames. Oh, that frame there, that cut there. It's just like, was it 4 frames, and then like the last frame is like just like the redraw, right? Redraw frames, right? That's pretty good. 4 frames, and then 1 frame for the zoom out. With zoom out, that the camera is in the motion of zooming out, then boom, it's zoomed out. Uh, uh, yeah, zooming out, and that's cool. That's pretty cool. And then that's 2 frames of wait, so that's 1, 2, 3. 3 frames just to clash away, and then you got anticipation frames going in, and then they're really going. And so he has this frame of him moving his arm forward, which is like the anticipation frame of attacking, right? Then you have the clash, and they have the frame where they clash, they clash, and then I keep missing it. They clash and then release, right? So then you always want to have like, was it the connecting frame, right? And then you have the disconnect frame where they're done clashing and they move away, right? Then right when then oh, that's cool. They only have 1 frame they have one frame for hitting each other, and then so 1 frame hitting each other, 1 frame for um for was it recovery, one recovery frame, then it goes right into the next attack, right? So one recovery frame, next attack, recovery frame, right? Now you have like these cool anticipation frames for the next attack, and then um but then boom, then goes for that, for another attack. And then now it's doing a bit more quicker attacks. The quicker it is, the less anticipation frames you really need, right? You know, and then oh, it's so cool. It's just so cool. The way these keys are uh, changed, and then he's grabbing his other hand, right? Um, oh yeah, that's so good. So he throws his weapon, and look at that throw. He blocks and then takes and he like he blocks. He moves the sword, um, like two frames, 3 frames, and this is where you're really smart with your spacing, right? You see how see how Orochimaru moves away from his frame, and he still stays the same, right? Orochimaru moves away, he still stays the same because they're on separate layers, right? They're not on the same layers. So then the way he throws his sword is like kind of weird, right? The motion of actually throwing his sword looks a bit weird, but it works because it's so fast, right? Then you see the throw, but then you see his pose of grabbing the next weapon, and then Orochimaru blocks it. He pulls out his weapon like really cool, and then that sword bounces up, and then you get these cool motion attacking. Then I love this like secondary. I love this secondary visuals of the weapon in the sky falling, sky in the air, the weapon in the air, and then like what's happening, what's gonna happen, right? Um, the way these keys are spaced out are so goddamn good. Uh, but yeah, Cheng Shi Huang is a brilliant animator. He worked on Hitori no Shida. He's Cheng Shi Huang storyboarded the cool fight scene in Hitori no Shida, the one where with the water bottle and stuff like that. Yeah, he storyboarded the whole thing, so it was really cool. Uh, and let's see. I'm gonna skip a bit forward. I'm skipping to when they're falling back down from the fight. Boom. Then you see he comes in for 1 frame, and then boom. They skip that whole frame and just have him already smashing the ground, right? And then you have Orochimaru, 2 3 frames of like landing, and then right there, boom. That's the lift off, right? He lifts off, dodging the attack. Then another frame. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 frames to do that cool flip. Usually, sometimes you can be lower since this is probably in between already. So they probably added like 1 or 2 in between to increase the frame count. But overall, you could shorten it still. But depending on how much you want to do, right? And then it's so good. That flip was really cool. Um, um, I would love to see the storyboards for this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. Like during his flip, he blocks another attack. So like that. That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, and there's always like little stuff like that. But I have noticed that
Yeah.
there's like a lot of stuff that's like it's like animators. They insert lots of things that your brain doesn't immediately notice, but it's there, and like it kind of feels like that is happening. And if you really analyze it, like that subtle stuff like helps. That subtle stuff that's like going in there, those little details for the fight and like the how it plays out, like sells it as a plausible fight and stuff. Where the characters are actually like uh, game pieces on a board or fighting game opponents or something where they're actually like executing like moves and plausible moves and strategy against each other in a fight. It still has like the pacing of a fight scene where like it has the rhythm to it and it's all about like play acting. Like these are essentially like these animated characters they're not real people. This is not like a real life fights. Real life fights are not very attractive compared to these. Um,
Yeah.
like this is a choreographed dance that is more
Yeah.
about like uh, striking each other and clashing weapons and stuff than actually like finishing off somebody immediately. Like it's a choreographed dance. It's but it still has like a kind of a rhythm to it. And like in this day and age of people like into fighting games and I know this has been going around a long time since like fighting games and video games and stuff like animation and anime is a lot more cognizant of like characters telegraphing that they're making like plausible game piece moves against each other. a little bit more. So it kind of has a feel like you're kind of watching, I don't know, like a couple of esports rivals play in a fighting game tournament, face off against each other sometimes. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, just doing studies and just trying to, I guess I forgot to talk about how simple the character design is.
Yeah.
But yeah, but, man, that's a brilliant scene.
Yeah, I mean, like, kind of what I'm doing on screen on my end right now is I'm kind of drawing a
Yeah.
little along the lines of how you should be drawing these. Like, I was actually like, I followed along for a couple of the poses that you were doing,
Yeah.
that you were
Oh,
showing us.
I stopped streaming so you can put
Yeah, yeah,
this.
I'm gonna switch it back right now.
Okay.
Let's switch it back. There we go. I'll put you up over
Sorry to
there.
interrupt, but like your link to your Discord on Twitch isn't working.
Yeah, I haven't set up the bot for that yet, so people are just gonna have to request it and then I can copy paste it. Oh, it has. Oh, that one has it. Why are those expired? That's kind of annoying. The Spacedad Discord link on Twitch is expired. That one should work. If that one doesn't work, let me know. Sir Snuffy. It should be unlimited use. But yeah, anyway, yeah, like what I'm doing on right here, like this is after I got more loosened up. Like last night we did a bunch of figure gesture drawing, and I haven't been doing gesture drawing for a while. So I kind of had to get back tuned into it, but like using like those people who've been in my like figure drawing classes throughout the week. Figure drawing classes throughout the week have like seen how we've been using like simple like cuneiform lines to break down the figures sometimes, and other like kind of simple exercises stuff like that stuff that we were struggling with trying to figure out like the pose and stuff. That is what you're going to be using for creating your animation, like that kind of stuff. Like that is a tool now that you can use to break down live action footage, or you can use to invent posing and stuff, kind of like what I'm doing right now. This is like not unlike what I was trying to get towards, but I wasn't really that warmed up last night. Like very simple characters that are all about like the simple statement and the gesture, the action, the weight, the posing and stuff, because you have faith that you're going to be able to go back in with like the anatomy and the character structure and the models and stuff, taking a figure like this and then letting the gesture drive the like the feel of the character. Like I can take this and I can like, as an example, I kind of have a working model right now for my Spacedad persona, so I do something like go back in over something like this and start adding in some construction detail like that. Character's backside here, there. And even at this phase, like I'm not going to be get too cut. This is like a pseudo tie down phase, still kind of rough. Like taking stuff like this and working it up to what will be your finished animation and so on. Like those have been the tool. Those have been like the tools that we've been kind of wrestling with in those figure drawing classes. So I do recommend doing figure quick sketch with rough, simple characters a lot to keep yourself in good tune with your observation skills on being able to quickly capture action. So I want to open the floor to if anyone has any questions to ask. Our homework this week is going to be take at least one piece of live action footage. Let me get rid of this. Our homework this week is going to be take a piece of live action footage, like from the stuff uh, that Maxi linked, and break it down into keys. If you rewatch the stream earlier, you can see one of the ones that we linked in chat. One of the stunt people. Um, that one he shows you how to like time out the keys and stuff. Um, so breaking down live action footage, that's one piece of homework. The other piece of homework is the this kid who went over with the Kotaku article on becoming a Japanese animator is hard. We want you doing throughout the week the 5 to 6 pose test with this character, following the parameters we outlined, like keep the volumes consistent, keep a good sense of weight, and so on. Um, and yeah, for the live action one, we want you kind of doing the same thing. You can play with it more if you want, but look for the key poses in that live action that you're doing. You can create stuff with your own character, or you can kind of pseudo rotoscope it, where you kind of like riff off and draw over the live action reference footage to study it and to kind of pick out and heighten the key poses if you want. But however you do it, those are the two main assignments. And the other one is I'm going to post some other ones, but the main assignment I want to give the newcomers is the bouncing ball. And the bouncing ball is a animation basics exercise where basically, well, you do this more or less. It tests your general ability with consistency and stuff, and your ability to understand arcs, timing and spacing, acceleration, deceleration, squash and stretch, and so on. So if you are an absolute beginner at this, or you just want to like warm up, do a bouncing ball test. We're going to link some further resources on that in the Discord. That one is for the beginners. I don't know if I'll do. We'll probably do a little bit of feedback on the bouncing ball test next week too. But if you want to participate in the homework, make sure you are joined to. So we are doing this in Ethan Becker's server right now, Ethan Becker's Discord. But if you want to participate, make sure you join make sure you join my personal Discord server. And you post in the homework section there. There's the link right there. I'll link that again in Twitch chat. What time is it? It is 4:30. We could probably go a little bit longer, and let's see. Well, it might be a good time to end the class pretty soon. What do you think, Maxie?
Yeah. I gotta go and work on NDA stuff. So.
Yeah, I think it would be a good time. I'll go over some things with some other people regarding the Discord, the new Discord that I have. Let's see here. I'll just give people a quick tour of the Discord and some other stuff. All right. So you've decided to join Spacedad's Discord. First of all, please ignore the broken intro message from the Meeseeks bot, which I've got to fix. There's some issues with that I'm going to have to go back in. Anyway, here's the landing zone where people come in. The class schedule section, which I'm still kind of retooling. There's a Google Calendar you can sign up for to get class alerts on the different classes that I'm doing. Tomorrow we are meeting up in my Discord for a Blender. Really? Yeah, let's fix that. Blender's Buds Sunday meetup. Save that. All events. So this calendar will be subject to change in the future, but like currently I have my main classes on repeating events. You will not. I don't think you'll get pinged for the. Yeah, you get pinged for that. You're gonna get pinged for like my classes about 30 minutes before they begin. Usually the homework section, yeah, that one you currently do get pinged for. I may change that though. But if you want to get pinged for the classes before they start, you can add. Yeah, I didn't add a notification for that. So you can add a notification about that. So we're meeting. The deadline on the homework is going to be next Saturday. Try to have your stuff submitted before then to the homework section, homework animation section. Here it is down. It's going to be in the homework section down here. Homework, not homework assignments, but animation homework shares. I think I should put that down there. Homework assignments is down at the bottom. Homework shares down there. It's a little confusing right now, isn't it? Yeah, this is where we're going to list the homework assignments. This is where looks like Zav has already got a head start. Oops. Not embedded properly, so I can't play it. But it looks like Zav has already got a head start on the test. That's awesome. So make sure you post it into the animation homework section here. We'll be able to get critique throughout the week, and also you are allowed to give critique to your fellow students in this section as well. There's also homework chat, and we will be meeting up. Like I have set times on Tuesday and Thursday when we'll be meeting up, like in here in voice, to kind of chill out, hang out, chit chat, work on homework assignments together. You can work on the homework assignment for the class, or you can work on your own personal work, or you can work on like classwork for real life classes that you're taking, or you can work on schoolwork if you want to. You can just come and vibe and work on like schoolwork that has nothing to do with art. Whatever. It's a productive period where you can work on professional work too, but it's a productive period where we're all supposed to meet up and work on stuff productively together for a few hours. And I'm going to be also I'm also going to be like having periods like kind of like that where like I feel like I'm going to come on like I don't know, like sometime during before class on Monday, for example. Hey, I'll ping people to when we're going to do that. So another thing on the Discord is when you first join, you get slotted into a category called Space Cadets. Everyone who joins the server automatically gets joined on the Space Cadets group. There is a Super Space Cadets category that if you want to be pinged more often, like when I ping out people like, hey, let's go hang out and let's do a draw pile, let's do an Aggio, let's do Jackbox, let's hang out and do homework or something, or whatever, or hey guys, I need your help for something, I need your input, what do you think about this? The Super Space Cadets category is for if you don't mute the server and you want to be pinged when stuff like that comes up. I will generally, for the most part, try to keep my pinging during Pacific daytime hours, with some rare exceptions. But for the most part, it'll be mostly Pacific daytime hours. And I am occasionally going to ping the regular Space Cadets thing, but I'll kind of keep that to special events mostly. I haven't completely worked out the specifics of when I would ping that and when I would ping what just yet. But I'm going to kind of I want to get feedback from people on that, and also if you have feedback and suggestions on that and other like pinging and other issues, in the main chat there's a Discord suggestions section here just to suggest about that. But anyway, if you want to join the Super Space Cadets category, you just click this little nuclear little nuclear symbol down here with music spot messages to join it, and you can click it again to leave the category. So if you want to be pinged or you don't want to be pinged, you can click it and unclick it during certain times or whatever, and leave and join the Super Space Cadets group as you see fit. You also, if you are in the Super Space Cadets category, you also get access to the Super Space Cadet exclusive chat. Other things too, if you are a Patreon supporter, as you see on the right here, in the future, you're probably going to in the future Patreon server boosters, donators on my coffee. But please contact me if you donate me my coffee. that I can add my Ko-fi, so I can add you to the Ko-fi donators category in my server. Twitch subscribers and everyone else, those people get slight priority for feedback on classes and stuff. But it's not. But like, I'm still going to get to a lot of people who haven't been contributed, who haven't like contributed with monies, because like anyone who shows up here for these streams is supporting me just by showing up and participating. So don't think you're being left out if you can't support. But that is also an incentive to support. So let's see here. Oh yeah, if you want further information about how you can support the server, what server boosting is, which will help us get higher quality streams on the server, also higher quality voice chat and other things. You read about that here. There's links to like info on my Patreon and the different tiers of my Patreon in here, and the Patreons, Ko-fi donations for direct donations, art commissions, and so on. Anyway, feel free to give a tour of the server. We've also got a tech tips section for talking about like art, PC building, and tablets and stuff. That's going to be pretty filled up. So what we got planned for this next week, we're on the Saturday animation class. Sunday will be a meet up in the Discord, Blender Study Buds. Monday will be my Ethan Becker server Monday head drawing class. Tuesday will be Tuesday Tech Tips, which will be a meetup on this server, where we'll talk about tech stuff and like chat about like, you know, this kind of stuff like art, tablets, and PC building a little bit. It's kind of a loose, casual, fun meetup thing around 2:30. Wednesday is going to be figure drawing anatomy, usually focused on anatomy. And Friday, I'm leaning towards doing gesture and action because the next day is animation day. So Friday will usually be gesture and anatomy. Thursday, there's a software study period that I'm kind of leaving flexible. So that some days we might study stuff like Team Boom Harmony or Storyboard Pro, or even Blender again, things like that. But I want to have a little period on that day that's set for kind of learning a little bit more about a piece of software together, about 2:30ish, and then there's like there's homework periods on Tuesday and Thursday around 5:30ish. That's the general schedule, and there will be pings and different updates, and check this calendar and the Discord for further updates in the future. Let's see. Do I need to be in something to join the server? No, you do not. Well, you need to have a verified. You need to have an email verified. You need to have a email verified Discord account presently. I may up the security on that in the future if it becomes an issue. Yeah, this was a very good class, and Maxie, Maxie's still here. Maxie, thank you very much for your amazing input and stuff. And I'm looking.
Oh yeah, no worries.
I'm really looking forward to next week. It would be actually awesome, like if you could come and chill and hang out throughout the week when you're working on stuff.
Oh yeah, I'll do
sometimes
my
too.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, there's a lot. I have a lot of friends. So.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a lot of friends, but I have other groups that
No, that's fine. I presume that I also presume that in addition to here, like people, there's so many people have like so much like social media, Discord hangout groups that they're part of right now during the lockdown.
Yeah.
So this is just like one more for the rotation for some people.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's okay. Let me just check real quick. I want to see how many people have joined the Discord. So this Discord is only like what, 3 days? It's either 2 days or 3 days old. I think it's two days old.
Oh.
Yeah, 253 members. Jesus, I had no idea that many people were into my classes. That's crazy. That's so awesome.
Yeah. It's
now I gotta figure out how to monetize it. Okay, everyone in this room,
right now
give me one penny, one shiny penny. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
It's almost 5 p.m., so I'm gonna head out. Thanks for having me, though.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming. I think everyone has a good idea what we're going to be doing. Yeah, again, so the homework is you should do some animation basics like bouncing ball and stuff, and we'll help you out with that. I'll be around throughout the week doing stuff to give input on that too. Live action footage keyframe breakdowns, and the mallet test keyframes, the key 5 to 6 key poses. That is your homework, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to shut down the stream very shortly, but before I do, I'm going to actually have you guys raid someone. But real quick, I'm going to let's see here. I'm probably going to have to cut this stuff up at the end. But as the outro, I'm going to play Bill Clinton's Your Face. It's probably going to get blanked, and I'm probably going to have to chop it off at the end here. But let's pick someone to raid real quick. Preferably like a art YouTuber, someone that I know of, or someone. Let's see if there's anyone particularly active right now that I know on Twitch. We can raid.
All right, I'm gonna dip out. I'll see you.
All right.
Thanks, Spacedad.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, Newegg is actually streaming science and technology stuff right now. Newegg is okay. We're gonna do this. This is not an art stream, but I want to turn people in this community onto tech stuff. So, Newegg, the PC hardware selling site is doing a live stream right now where they are building a PC live. So I'm going to have you guys raid them. It's kind of weird for me to raid a. Oh, Nick Mundo is live. We might do them. Well, but check out the Newegg stream too. I would say because they're doing a live PC build, and you guys can maybe ask questions of the person building the PC there on the Newegg stream. I'll link that. I'll link the Newegg in chat real quick. Definitely check that out. Here they are right now on stream, just so you know. They're building a PC. Looks neat. Nick Mundo is live, so maybe we can raid them. Nick Mundo. Yeah, we were gonna raid Nick Mundo, folks. They are a Nickelodeon storyboard artist. We're gonna raid them. So yeah, everyone get ready. Everyone get ready in Twitch. We are going to raid right now. I'm gonna play Bill Clinton's Your Face while we close out the stream.